We're here today to discuss some of the problems that we're witnessing in our world in these changing times. And we thought for a change we would discuss some of the issues that we're witnessing with our future leaders. What would you do to deter crime in your community? And for a change, we're going to listen to the whispers of our children. We're going to begin our discussion by introducing our distinguished panel. To my right, Mr. Jelani Floyd. Could you say your name and tell us a little bit about you?
Hi, my name is Jelani Floyd, and I attend Providence St. Mel School, and I'm 13 years old, and I'm in the 8th grade.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Jasper Turner, and I am also in the 8th grade at Providence St. Mel. I am also 13.
My name is Khirey Floyd, and I'm 11 years old, and I am in 6th grade, and I attend Providence St. Mel School.
My name is Jerome Murray. I am also in 6th grade. I also attend Providence St. Mel School.
My name is Ramon Williams, and I also attend Providence St. Mel, and I'm in 6th grade.
Okay. You guys are very articulate and speak very well. So relax. Just pretend like the cameras aren't here and think about what you want to say, and think about when your friends see the show, they're going to say, wow, I didn't know these guys had all the answers. As I was saying, we'll begin the discussion by asking about leadership, because I think a lot of time crime and peer pressure and gangs all result as a lack of leadership. Jelani, I want to ask you, what's your definition of leadership?
I say that leadership is a person that can control and tell what others can do right. A leader can be on the basketball court or even in school. A leader is like a person that can do things, that is a leader but is a good person also and knows what's right and wrong.
Okay, Jasper?
I think a leader is a person that can take control of the atmosphere and like make sure everybody like keeps up on track. And
Okay, good answer. Khirey?
I think a leader is a person who always tries, even though sometimes mostly fails, and gets right back up and try again and does better each time.
Okay. Jerome?
I think leadership is a positive person who makes people follow along with them, but they're doing something for a good cause.
Okay, so you're talking about a positive leader. Okay, Jerome? Ramon, I'm sorry.
A leader, I think, is a role model and inspires people to do right.
Okay. You all gave good examples of leaders. I just want to tag on that a leader is a person, in my opinion, that can make his or her own decision. So that takes us right into the segue for the next part, which is peer pressure. Now, I want to know what you guys think about peer pressure. Whoever wants to tackle this first, feel free.
Well,
Okay.
I think peer pressure is when someone's telling you like to do drugs and you're saying no, and you keep on saying no, and then they just say, well, I'm not going to be your friend. And it's real hard because they your friend, and it's like you tell them all your secrets and stuff, and it's like it's do or die if you say no or something.
Okay. Ramon?
And I think peer pressure is when you get nervous, like if somebody asks you a question, or if you get nervous and well, that's it.
When you get nervous? Go ahead, Jerome.
I think peer pressure is when someone forces you to do something that you really don't. I also think it is when you want to do something but you're afraid that someone might think it's stupid or dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I think peer pressure is when your friends try to talk you into doing things you really don't feel like doing, and your friends keep on saying that you should do this and that, but you don't want to go that way, and then they just keep bugging you into it, and then they just set like a mind frame in your head that, okay, if I just do it once, I might not get in trouble.
I say that peer pressure is when someone forces you to do something, like, and putting pressure on you to do what you don't want to do, and they like kind of bug you. That's what my definition of peer pressure is. Something that you don't feel comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. So it's undefined pressure. It's an influence to put pressure on you to make a decision that you really don't want to make. So how do you think leaders stand up against peer pressure? What does a good leader do? Remembering that a leader makes his or her own decisions. You guys just chip in.
A leader makes his own choices for himself, and he try to help himself.
Okay.
I'd say that a leader knows how to make his own decisions over peer pressure and not to have a brain of your own. Simply, that's what I think.
I think a leader just pays no attention to the wrong things, that the peer pressure. They just don't let it get to them, so they just feel that they just don't have to pay attention to it because it's not necessary.
Okay. Good answer.
I think a leader taking peer pressure is real easy for them because they already know what to do when the right situation comes.
Jerome?
I think a leader is a person who could say no when they don't want to do something and yes when they agree with it.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Ramon, you want to chime in on that?
They could always try to do their best and inspire people to do the right thing.
Okay. So that ties us into the topic. What could you guys do to make a difference to change crime or reduce crime in our communities? How do we get the other young men and the young ladies to stand up against peer pressure and to make their own decisions? How do we go about letting the other kids in our community know that they're leaders and that they make their own decisions?
I can start by telling them that drugs is not good for you because that's one of the main things that get you into peer pressure.
Okay. Go ahead, you guys.
I think we could start a group and like every week we could talk about not doing drugs and not joining gangs and telling people how we really feel.
Great idea.
We can also go to our community center and like have a neighborhood watch for other people that like live with themselves, that lives by themselves.
Oh, that's great.
I think they can hold like sports and things that'll keep them off the streets, that'll keep them away from like gangs and stuff, and then also try to like keep them away from dangerous area, or like say that since you live on the west side, you don't have to do such and such and such.
Very good. Jelani?
I think that our communities need to stick together and shop in our own neighborhoods and buy from our own neighborhoods and things like.
So economic development.
Yes, we should take care of each other.
Very good. Very good. So you guys know that just by you having this discussion that we're having today, when you go home, you talk to your friends, you talk to your neighbors, you talk to the other kids that don't go to your school, but you still try to communicate these ideas that you have, because all you gentlemen have great ideas. And that's one thing that we can do to change crime, is by giving information. So our next subject is on that, on how to deter crime in our community, is education. How important is education to you?
I really think that education is really, really important in learning how things are and to understand what things go on, and when you go to maybe college or high school, to know what's the difference between algebra and regular math and geometry, and you have to know this stuff. And I also think that
can you be educated without reading? How important is reading to education, Ramon?
Reading is very important because it builds your vocabulary, and like if you go to a job interview, you would use the wrong words, and a boss that's about to hire you, he'll think that you're not qualified for the job.
Okay.
Also with Ramon, if you read, it does expand your vocabulary, so you don't like say wrong, you don't get them to misinterpret what you're saying, and so they don't feel like secure. And like if you worked at like a store, and then you're saying things that might like scare away or just confuse the customer, that they might not return, so they might be thinking of their business because of the way of your vocabulary.
And how you express yourself to that customer.
It's important to read to me because I can learn, I can explore what's in the book, and also sometimes books are fun to read.
Is this my child? Am I dreaming? Jelani, you have something to say? Jerome?
I think reading is important because without reading, you can't do anything. Like, you might have to read the directions for your homework, or you might have to read the instructions to put together, like, a toy or a car or something if it's not working.
You want to
Reading, I just have one thing to say, that reading is the key to life.
Very good. I want to just surmise that and put that back as it relates to our topic. Do you think that those people who commit crimes, those guys who sell drugs, those people who can't read, how different their lives would be if they could read?
Yes, they will have a husband, wife, children, happy family, meal on that day, and they would not have to run from the police every day. And they won't make minimum wage, because selling drugs, you make minimum wage, and you have to worry about getting
Well, not all
killed.
drug dealers make minimum wage. They make decent money, but it's the probability of doing something illegal.
Or getting killed.
Right.
I say, or getting killed.
I think that if those people would have read and like kind of stay in school, that they wouldn't need to sell drugs or be in gangs, that their reading abilities and schoolwork would have kept them into it, so they could have like a attorney job or be in the law or whatever their dreams were.
Very good. Anybody want to chime in on that? Because readers, like they say, readers build leaders. Readers build leaders. So that just chimes into education and all the way back to leadership. Most leaders are readers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's just a fundamental in that to be educated, you have to read. Ramon, do you want to add on to that? Or?
If you learn how to read, you can make somebody in your family proud and know that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to.
Very good. So I guess I want you guys to take that information back to the community. There are young kids younger than you that you can help assist in learning how to read. Read stories to them, because reading, education is power. That's what all the politics is about. That's what the big fight is about, because young scholars like you guys are our future leaders. We're dependent on you to make better decisions that we're making in the world today. Now I want to go to our other subject and ask them, what do you feel about politics? How are we doing as adults in supervising, or how are we doing as adults and leaders of the world today? What would you do to change on some of the things that happened on September 11th? How do you think the adults are handling the world?
I say that politics are very, very, very corrupt. And there is so much corruption in politics, because it's not about what you know, but who you know. And I believe that politics is really about hooking your friends up and not really caring about what the people think.
Okay, taking care of your own people. Just chime in, guys.
Oh, some adults aren't really being that good of parents, because some adults, they just cuss in front of the kids, and some young kids use that kind of language around other people, and that's